So a few of you complain that I use too much distortion on my various alternate tunings or monstrosity demos. While on the other hand, ironically, some of you ask for even more distortion or fuzz if I go that clean route. In reality, I track the DI signal while recording, and reamp later through both maybe a bassier clean and high-pass distorted signal chain, actively balancing between the two when editing the video, depending on what I find sounds most interesting. Since these videos are so experimental, it's hard to determine what's the best thing to actually go with. So for the sake of curiosity and appeasement, I'm gonna start reamping, re-editing, and revisiting altogether some of those older videos based on your comments and suggestions. The first video I'm gonna start with was back in 2018, messing with diatonic thirds tuning. Without being redundant, I break down what that tuning entails and my reasoning behind it if you want to watch that first, along with all of its agreeably, maybe overly distorted tones for more context. Otherwise, stick around. This is Kevin from Setsu Much. So what do you guys think now? I'm not really sure why I stuck with so much distortion in the first place. It might have something to do with the fact that I had been exclusively using it in drop E for extreme djenting up until this point. I referenced a riff I used in an experimental instrumental video called Just Breathe. But even in that demo playthrough, I still mixed a clean tone with a little bit of a crunch tone because I just couldn't help myself. I still think it's an appropriate fit for the song though, if you guys want to check the link in the description and tell me for yourselves. Finally, I want to talk about another comment that I thought was a really good idea, changing the mode so that the diminished chord is the auto and out, having to loop back to a lower fifth in order to complete that chord, if you saw the first video. Sticking with E2 to E4 tuning so we can easily just retune a string up or down a half step, we end up in the key of D major, but in the Dorian mode, since E is the second note in that key. Hopefully you got some new light on this particular experiment, and are maybe curious to check out some of the older videos on this channel to give more reamping suggestions. It doesn't even have to be a clean versus distorted thing, it can be any unique tone or effect you want for those videos with a demo segment on them. Especially let me know if you want this series to continue in general. Remember, over on my Patreon, you can already access the DI of all instruments and tunings used on any covers, experimental instrumentals, verses, or riff twist videos I did to try reamping ideas for yourself. I'd be so thankful if you guys just took a quick look. There's also some free sample packs and stuff over there under a free tag. Thank you guys so much. Keep sharing your ideas. For now, though, enough said. For early video access, raw instrument tracks, and more exclusives, find our community on Patreon and consider adding your support.
Said too much.